Hello, my name is Sarah and I'm a training specialist at TomPit. In today's video, I'm going to talk about operations. The goal of this lesson is to learn what are operations, where to view and manage operations in the TomPit system, and the importance of having an option of viewing and managing process operations directly through the system. Operations are the essential building blocks of any production process. They represent the individual steps or tasks required to transform raw materials into a finished product. By breaking down production into clearly defined operations, companies gain greater control over workflow, resource allocation, and quality assurance. Defining operations directly within your processes allows for customization and flexibility. Companies can tailor each step to fit their unique production needs, adjust workflows, and maintain consistency across different product lines. Additionally, having clearly defined operations improves transparency. Each operation can be assigned specific inputs and outputs, resource and quality checks, making it easier to track production and ensure that every process is planned accordingly. For example, imagine a furniture manufacturing company producing dining tables. Their process involves multiple operations: cutting wood to size, sanding the surface, assembling the table frame, varnishing, and finally packaging. By defining each of these operations in the system, they can assign the correct tools, personnel, and materials to each task. For example, sanding requires specific equipment and trained staff, while varnishing has different material needs. Each operation can also have a quality check, ensuring everything is up to standards. This structured approach ensures efficient production from start to finish. Now let's see how this works in TomPit. To define or manage an operation, navigate to the production or maintenance domain, selecting Management, and lastly the Processes icon. To add an operation, choose a process and its version on which you want to create a new operation. You can do this by clicking on the Versions button below the process. A page with versions of the process opens, where you can choose on which you want to add the operation to. The blue line left to the name indicates which versions are currently active. Selecting the Operations button opens a list of operations set for that version. In case there haven't been any operations set, the page will be empty. You can search for a specific operation by using the search bar at the top of the list. To add a new operation, click on the blue Action button on the bottom right corner of the screen. You will be given the option to copy existing, create by template, or add a new one. Select the new option. A form for adding a new operation opens. A code is automatically generated, but you can change it to your liking. You can add a description if needed and a name. Input the ordinal number, which will determine the order of the operations starting from 0. For instance, the number 3 would mean that the operation is executed 4th in a row. Next, select the start condition from the drop-down list, which determines when the operation can start. This can be when the predecessor is completed, activated, or at any time. Choosing an activation substatus indicates if the operation starts automatically running, on start, or if it's stopped and needs to be manually started by selecting the Start button. Selecting an automatic completion condition will complete the operation automatically after planned operation time is exceeded. This is helpful in case the operation is still running after completing everything within its time frame and the personnel haven't stopped it yet. The following setting allows you to include or exclude the time impact of the operation. Choosing the Include option, the time of the operation impacts the overall execution time of the process, while selecting the Exclude does not affect it. If needed, select the parent operation, which means this operation will be created under the selected one. For instance, if wood cutting includes wood sanding and drilling, these can be added as a child operation under one parent. You can also set a default organization unit for the operation, which will appear on the production order next to the operation. If necessary, you can select an article for the operation from the knowledge base. This article will appear on the execution screen while performing the operation. These articles can be instructions, warning documents, plans, or anything useful for production of the product. Below, you can choose or add a tag to the operation, like for example, a cooperator, which will set the operation for an external execution. And lastly, under the expenses section, you can choose an additional expense for the operation if it is needed. This can include transport fees or other external expenses that will show on the production summary of the process. When all the needed information is added, select the Add button at the bottom of the form. The system will redirect you back to the operations overview. To the right of the operations, you can see the ordinal numbers that indicate the sequence in which they will be executed. To extend a parent operation, click on the arrow left to the code to reveal additional operations below. The Start Condition column shows the condition under which the operation starts. And to edit an already existing operation, click on the blue operation link change the information to your liking, before lastly selecting the Save button at the bottom. And with that, we conclude today's lesson on operations. Let's summarize what we've learned in this video. You now know what operations are, you know where to view and manage operations in the Tompit system, and you know the importance of having an option to view and manage process operations directly through the system. I hope this video helped, and I will see you in the next lesson.